I'm Kaitlyn Flint, and I'm a senior at Milton High School, and I've been published in the literary journal issue 2 and 3. I'd written this poem, Under Ashes, and for me, what it was about was getting some anger out towards, well, I was adopted, and so I don't have a personal connection with any of my foster parents, or not my foster parents, any of my biological parents. And for me, this poem was getting a little bit of the anger out between myself and my biological mom. Even though that's not that big of a trouble for me anymore, being able to write about it helped me get it out. Is that good?
Do you want to read the poem?
Okay. How it goes is, the spite of nature is a spit of fire, the scarecrow sees no pacifier, edge of hell a beast, a mother, ashes to ashes, the light we smother. Under the bridge, binding us aside, as destruction grows by our side, hay like needles and clouds of rage, dance of mother on earth's stage. Goodbye, birds sing as flames erupt, and last thoughts are the world's corrupt.
Thank you. Would you like to add anything else?
I don't think so.
Congratulations on being published.
Thank you. Actually, there's a typo in here, and I read it in front of everybody. Wrong. I guess there's a typo. Yeah.
Where'd you find it?
Clouds. It says clouds of cage. That's wrong. It's clouds of rage.
Ah.
Yeah. But that's okay. It happens.
Well, thank you very much for doing that interview, and thank you very much for opening up about your poem.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
My name is Adriaunna Morgan. I'm in 9th grade. I attend Milton High School, and I was recently published in the Blackwater Literacy Journal issue 3. My poem is entitled The Day Candy Wasn't Enough. And what it means for me is, as I've joined high school, I've noticed that a lot of kids my age are so desperate to grow up. They like to smoke and drink and do all of these things that are, I think, kind of unbecoming of, 15, 16-year-olds. They're still children, basically, but they try to act like they're grown. And this poem for me was written kind of out of anger. I was upset that all of these people around me were just so desperate to grow up when they don't realize that they still have time to do all these things later in life. They start now because they think, it makes them cool, or they find some sort of relief in it. But really, I don't know, it upsets me because it seems like nowadays being innocent is viewed as being bad or naive, like you have to trade that in the moment you're deemed old enough. And I just think that it's something you should try and hold on to for as long as possible, because one of these days you're not going to be able to do that anymore. And I feel like people take that for granted.
Now, have you written any more? Was that the only poem that was published?
It's the only one that's been published, but I've definitely written more.
You have? Mm-hmm. And you find writing to be therapeutic for you?
I do.
And can you talk a little bit about that?
For me, writing is very therapeutic because there was a time in my life when I was not good with sharing my feelings. I'm getting better, but there was a time when I just didn't like talking about how I was feeling, and so writing was a good medium for that because I still got to express those feelings. I didn't have to bottle them up, but I didn't necessarily have to confide in someone else either. So that's writing. Writing became very therapeutic for me.
Good. Well, thanks for sharing your feelings about your poetry and why you write and all that kind of stuff. I know it's personal, but I appreciate you taking the time to do that.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Savannah Patterson. I'm a student at Pensacola State College and Pace High School, and I've been published in the Blackwater Literary Journal. I'm going to read for you my poem, Fata Morgana, and this poem to me represents the truth. That's what this poem is about. Now, Fata Morgana means the fairy Morgana, and all throughout this poem are metaphors of water and the beach and irrepressible forces of nature. And what I'm trying to do is to compare that to true identity and especially gender identity. And I think a lot of the selves that we push to the side and we kind of marginalize. So I'm talking about how that is something that cannot be removed, no matter how hard you try to eliminate it or repress it.
Okay.
Galilee was a fantasy, transcranial hallucination. Doctor signed some papers, sprawled ink like damaged jeans. Mother picks up my prescription at the local pharmacy. Arriving home, I'm sat down in a bedroom remade. The greens and blues consumed by pinks? How barbaric. Cutting out the middleman from the heart of the ocean. Now I spit my truth up. It burns. It is painful. Seawater syndrome. I can't help it. This side effect extraction. Father holds my hair as I lean into the bowl. My parents say young girls weren't born to house Atlantics. The therapy aims to take Aphrodite, to make Aphrodite a thing not born from foam. Now, the substance leaks out from every opening. Breaking a sweat leaves a Bolivian desert on my sun-dried skin. I am a beach. I cannot hide that fact. My hair is seaweed. They cut and back it grows. They braid and it unfolds. Wild child. My words are foam. My words should be less. For the lack of a better word, less. So they move on to corks and plugs. Since then, no more ruined rugs. I'm now a sailor, gagged and tied, screaming for the siren song. Exhaustion knocks me out for long periods of time. And in that time, nothing's wrong. Take the man from the ocean, fine. Take the ocean from the man, it's crime. I guess they got what they wanted. I'm quiet and compliant, eliminated Pacific defiant. But every so often, I slip through the confinement. Salt water still stains my skirts, now and then. Thank you.
All right. So, what motivated you to write that particular poem?
I was going through a very dark spot. And I felt like I couldn't be who I am. I couldn't be a person who has a different sense of gender than most people do. And I think it's a really hard thing to talk about. So I wrote this, I think, at one of the lowest points in my life. And it was just a poem saying, you can't erase me.
Thank you very much, and congratulations on being published.
Oh, thank you.
All right.